single day. I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Aries, Aries, Aries. What's going on, Aries? So, let's get started with you guys reading for August. We know we're coming out a big, heavy, emotional month in July with the eclipses, retrograde planets, full moon, the full blood moon, and on August 11th, we're going to finish up that series of eclipses for the year. We'll have the solar eclipse in Leo. So Aries, I'm not going to do too much of the astrology in this video. I want to jump straight into the reading. And I'm going to be using these cards. I believe this deck is the Gilded Tarot deck. I've already been shuffling, but I'm just shuffling again really quick for you guys. And I haven't really used this deck in a while. I did it for in-person readings the other day. So I had it out, so I'm just going to use it. I just wanted to switch up a little bit. Usually my favorite deck is the Rider-Waite, and I've been using, what's the other deck called? I don't know why I can't think of it right now, but you guys know my deck. A lot of people use it. It's the one with the black cards, and it kind of has a pink and blue sun and moon on the cards. I've been using those, so I said, well, I'm just going to switch it up a little bit and go back to this deck because I haven't used it in a while. And then for clarifiers, we will do the Lenormand deck. I really like that deck. I feel like it's very telling. I feel like it's very predictive. And I feel like it's very deep, that Lenormand deck, and especially the way you're supposed to read with it. So we can do that if we need clarifiers. So Aries, I'm feeling like you guys, you may need a change. Don't ask me about why changing clothes or changing a wardrobe. Maybe you guys are revamping yourself, getting a new wardrobe, changing homes, just changing something. But at the same time, I also got the energy of taking a break with Aries as well. So maybe you're taking a break for some sort of change, or to get to some sort of change, or to make some sort of change happen in your life. So yeah, Aries, that's just kind of what I feel for you. So take that as you will and apply it as you may. So let's go ahead and get started and lay your cards and just see what's going on with Aries for the month of August. And I'm sorry if I sound a little unenergetic. It's sort of late at night, but we're still going to hop right into it. Ooh, Aries, 4 of Wands, the Lovers. So I don't know. I wasn't going to make these. I'm not making these specifically about love or anything like that. But I definitely see that something's going on with your relationship and some choices and some decisions you have to make. Some fighting that's going on in a relationship. Maybe you guys are dealing with divorces or breakups or trying to decide between two people or more than one person. Maybe there's a person you have got a lot of love for. Maybe there's a person that you have good sex with. That could be it. Maybe you're dealing with an air sign person, Leo, Gemini, Aquarius. Leo, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I'm getting Libra in this spread quite a bit. I have the Justice card in reverse, and then I have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So you could be dealing with somebody who doesn't want to give you a certain amount of money. Maybe somebody's holding on to their money. Maybe you're fighting with somebody over money. I have the King, like I said, I have the King of Pentacles in reverse. I have the 4 of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands right under the 4 of Wands. So maybe some sort of fighting going on in a marriage or in a home. Fighting over a marriage or a home. Fighting to hold on to a marriage or a home. Maybe holding on to a lover, holding on to somebody from a past, holding on to somebody that you're married to or you have a relationship with, kind of not wanting to let this go. For the women out there, I see that you may be trying to hold on to the guy, but maybe he's holding on to his money or something like that. Maybe he doesn't want to let that go. And I'm just shuffling the Lenormand deck. You got to make some decisions about which way you want to go, about a passionate start. What's really funny is 2 of these cards came out in a reading I did the other day, and I just remember them because they're coming out how it's a reading I did for Pisces. They're coming out in sort of like upright with the Ace of Wands, and then in reverse with the Justice card. That's kind of how they came out. So you guys could be maybe you're breaking up with a Libra. If you guys are out there dealing with any air signs. But again, I feel this is a lot about choices, which way to go, which path to choose. Like I said, making a change because of something that has to do with money, holding on to something, or letting something go. Because you got the Justice in reverse and the King of Pentacles in reverse right next to each other. You guys could be dealing with a earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, and a Libra, which you're like, forget about it to both of them. You're not really feeling either or. But maybe something's going to come in to sort of move your decision along, maybe to change the direction of what you're passionate about, what you want to do. But I definitely see some sort of fight over money having to do with the household, a foundation, or stability. Maybe you guys are going to court, or there's some kind of legal or contractual documentation that you're fighting over that has to do with a marriage, your place of residence. We have the 4 of Wands. And then we have the 5 of Wands. So Aries, this may be a month where you find yourself trying to get back to yourself. I know before we started, I talked about changes, something about wardrobes and clothes. Maybe you are really revamping yourself, but I see that you may need to hold on to some money. You may need to hold on to some money. Watch your spending. Don't spend frivolously. Be careful about that, because some sort of decision, judgment, contract, or agreement having to do with money, stability, your home or your family, even your children, may not necessarily come out in your favor. It may not be what you are expecting or what you wanted. So just be mindful and be careful about that. But you're looking for a new direction in which to focus your passions, Aries. You may be trying to decide between 2 lovers. I do have the Lovers card with the 2 of Wands right beside it. So what I can say is there's a lot of movement in the month of August for you, Aries. There's a lot of passion. I think for Aries it's good with this being a Leo month, because regardless of the fighting, regardless of any money issues, you guys are still going to see yourself moving ahead and moving, I'll put these back in the wrong position, and moving forth with the direction you want to go in, or some of the decisions that you want to make. Out of the 9 cards that I have on the table, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost half of those are Wands, because you got the 4 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. So I think this is a month that is very much so about that fire energy, especially with this eclipse coming up. It's very much so about that fire energy. And yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Aries, you could be in isolation right now. You could have cut a situation. You could have left a situation. On the Four of Wands card, I drew the Lenormand cards, and you have the Synth, which is the number 10. You got the Moon, which is 32, and you have the this 35, which is like the boat, the anchor card. It's sort of like planting your feet after a shipwreck, planning your anchor, kind of being ship. It's like a shipwreck. Just describing to you what's on the card. It's like a shipwreck, but it's not like you drowned in the ocean. You came upon this island, and from this isolation, after going through this troublesome time in your home, in your marriage, with your kids, in your relationship, you had to take some time to yourself. If you or you've went through something that was hurtful, but you're gonna find that in this solace that you have, in this place that you found yourself, there are gonna be better times to come. So you had to cut off a relationship, cut off a partner, just cut some ties to something that has to do with your foundation, something you've been invested in for a while. Could be 4 years or more, 4 or 5 years or more. Something you've been invested in, but something you've really had to cut it off because of some things that you didn't know, some things that weren't clear, some things that you might have been in the dark about. So with that, when you found out these things, and if you haven't found them out, I feel like this situation for Aries is things you've been going through. If that doesn't relate, these are things that could be coming up for you, Aries. But with you kind of isolating and taking the time to yourself, you find that you'll get better, and you're going to heal from this, and you're going to have a passionate new beginning. And like I said, you might even find yourself in a situation where you have to make a choice between two lovers or two people or two paths, two ways that you should go. So let's see what's going to be on the Lovers card. So I'm laying them, but I just have to move them down because I can't see them all the way at the top of the table. So on the Lovers card with the Lenormand deck, we got the Bear. We have the Pond card, or it's like almost like the Fountain card. And then we have the Clovers. So let me just look at this for a second. So yeah, it's funny because these cards came out on the Lovers, and I was talking about making a decision, having to kind of move a different way or go down a different path. And with the Bear, it's not taking quick action, even though you have a lot of Wands card. It's not like I see the Knight of Wands, or what else could it be? I'm thinking of what the Six of Wands is. I'm just trying to get a picture of the Six of Wands in my head. I don't know why it's escaping me at this particular time. What's on that damn Six of Wands card? What the heck? I don't know why I can't think of... Oh, the Six of Wands. Yeah, the Victory card. So it's not like you had the Knight of Wands, the Six of Wands, 2, 3, even the Three of Wands to kind of see the result of your action. you have cards that are kind of telling you action is necessary, and some action and some movement is taking place, but there's a need to just kind of slow down and think things through, especially with the bear, because the bear hibernates. It's very powerful, but the bear hibernates. It takes its time. It can move fast. You know, bears can be very dangerous and very fast, and they have a threatening power, but they hibernate, and they do things at a slow pace. So with that on top of the Lovers, I would say you don't want to move too fast. You really want to think about the decisions that you're making, especially like I said with this Two of Wands and with this Five of Wands. Fighting, not quite being able to get to that victory because some things are holding you back. Maybe some people don't want to see you do certain things, you know? But then with this Fountain card, the number 20, it says you will soon see a man. It's the Garden card. I call it the Fountain. It's the Garden card. This is the garden's plan. Another thing for sure, happiness is also in store. So if you take your time to make your moves, Aries, don't move too quickly. And I know that may be hard for Aries because you guys are very impulsive with your actions. You move pretty fast. But if you kind of slow it down, think about the things you do and say before you do them, I think you'll have a better outcome, and it'll help lead you towards the path that you should choose. In the Clover card, it says, if the clover's in the sun, happiness is sure to come. If clouds are hovering in the rain, your clover may be a sign of pain. But I think what that's more so meaning with the other cards that came out with is that a relationship or love relationship or something that had to do with your home. It can even be family, because with the Four of Wands, yes, it talks about stability, marriage, commitments, and things like that a lot. But it could be whatever's going on in your home. You may be coming through some hurt, or you may be in the process of some hurt with that, but it will be better once you make it through this period of hibernation, this period of silence, this period of going in yourself and revamping yourself and making some changes like I talked about in the beginning. So Aries is really about it really getting back to you, because even with the Ace of Wands is new opportunities, and you can see new things cropping up in your life, but the Ace of Wands doesn't necessarily give indication to how it's going to turn out. The Ace of Wands is more like a beginning, you know, and it's passion. So even if you find that you have met somebody, you have passion, you have fire with somebody else, you guys can, and a lot of people do, move kind of fast in relationships. And I would suggest to kind of take it slow. Just take it slow. So on the Five of Wands card, we got the 21 is the mountain. The closer the mountain, the closer the enemy. When he comes along, his power will be strong. And it is really, really, really funny that you would get this mountain card. It just presents an obstacle and an enemy, somebody you're fighting with, somebody that wants to kind of stop your progress. It's really funny that you would get that on top of the Five of Wands, which is not such a heavy battle, but it is quarrel and it is battle, and depending on what else it's in conjunction with could determine the severity of that Five of Wands card. And I just feel like you may be fighting somebody back and forth in your home, and even in a court of law. It could be about, one second, I got this on my phone. It could be in a court of law. It could be about a contract, an agreement, a commitment, or something like that, or just you being off balance. You could find that maybe the things that have been going on in your life have kind of got you off balance, and you really are facing some obstacles and some mountains, which is just backed by that Five of Wands card. So yeah, that really is speaking the exact same language as that Five of Wands card. And then you got the Star, and it says if the star comes alone, you will be happy. If it's breathing through, breaking through the clouds, your worries could become your shroud. So I think that's more so talking about trying to release some of your worries and your burdens. Don't fight with anybody else. Whatever you're holding on to, you have to let go in order to have a new start, in order to go in a new direction. Even if things don't come out in your favor, I think, Aries, be the bigger person and just let it go. A lot of times, I know Aries are willing to be super petty. They're willing to fight. They're willing to battle. You know, I don't know a lot of Aries who are against fighting and battling and things like that. But maybe it's time for you to just be the bigger person. It's really not a time to fight. It's a time to focus on you, creating a new pathway, new streams of income, creating a new you, or the you that you've always wanted to be, or the you that you always were, but you want to deliver, you want to bring that to the world, you want to bring that, you want to be who you are, you want to bring that to the people in your life. And in order to do that, you got to let go of some of the petty shit from the past or that's going on in your life right now. And then you got the 12, the bird, and it says, "Oh, the little bird. It sings a song of worry and woe, but never fear. Your trouble hasn't far to go," which I can really see with this spread. Like I said, you're juggling with commitments. You're struggling with commitments. You're struggling with the breaking of a partnership, or you're struggling if you haven't broke up with your partner. You're just struggling in your partnership right now. And if you're having issues with your partner or whoever you're with, they're most likely over money, over career, over what you're doing for your job, maybe what your partner is doing for your job. Maybe it's not bringing in enough money or something like that. So there's some differences about the direction you guys want to go, and you may not feel like you're on the same path as your partner. But those things will be overcome and you'll work them out. I don't see in every set of cards I've laid for the Lenormand, the last card tells me that you're going to find your stability again. You are going to find your happy place. You're going to find your light after, you know, after you've gone through some of these trials and tribulations that you're definitely going through. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not far away. It's actually right before your eyes. Maybe you can't reach out and touch it, but it is soon coming. So I think the last, I think I'm going to do something on this justice. We got to see what's going on with this justice in reverse. You don't read the Lenormands in reverse. Ooh. So the justice in reverse. Ooh, you guys may be having to give up a key to your house. Maybe I don't know, something with keys, something with home and with stability and contracts and agreements. Did you guys get a key to a new house? You know, are you getting out of a lease or some type of contractual agreement with that? Maybe getting out of a relationship is going to give you a key to a new future. But let's see what came out. So you got the 30, which is the lilies, and the card says, if there are lilies on your head, you walk where virtue treads. If there are lilies at your feet, misfortune is what you soon may meet. So I definitely feel like you guys are going to lose out on a contract, an agreement. You may be going through a divorce or a breakup of a relationship. And it is hurtful to you, Aries. It is. You know, but some things are karmic. Some things have to happen and have to be done in order for you to move forward to new beginnings. Because next you have the stork, which is the number 17. And the stork card says, the stork has something to say. Don't stay here long today. Whether north or south, it's best to be on your way. So don't dwell too much on whatever decisions are made, whatever you're walking away from. And I just said that before the stork card even came out, with you needing to move on from the past. Stop holding on and let go. I know the decision about which way you should go may be difficult. Maybe you're trying to decide your path and exactly what you need to do to get there with that Knight of Swords. But don't dwell on it. Keep moving, but do it smartly. Really think about which way it is that you want to go. Don't get mad at certain decisions or certain things that happen, because whatever happens now is going to lead you to exactly where you need to be in the future. And again, like I said, you guys, I'm getting a lot in this spread. You may be dealing with another earth sign, a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, or you could be dealing with even a air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. You could be dealing with any sign. It could be their sun, moon, or rising, or any place else in their chart where they have the heavy energy of that. But a lot of this is about you too as well, Aries, with all of the fire in this reading. And it's a fire month. It's a Leo month. So then the last card I had got on top of that, Justice in reverse, was a 33, which is the key. And the key is, if it says if the key is close at hand, it has a special plan to help you with your wish, no matter what it is. And there's just a theme of every third card that I'm laying for Aries being a great card to let you know, yes, you may be going through the bullshit. You may be going through the drama. You may have went through some hurtful things. But there is a very bright future in store for you, Aries. There is stability. There is, the path that you know in your guts and your instincts that you should go down, the path that you know you should go down is going to hold something great in store for you. And I feel like, Aries, if you're passionate about something that has to do with communication, you're passionate about something that has to do with communication and movement, but the movement is more so with your mouth, with your communications. The movement is more so mental. So if you guys are doing something communication oriented, something with speaking, something with maybe messages that you deliver to people, I feel like that's the path that you want to go down. That's the path that you should pursue. So there may be some areas, you guys may be teachers, you guys may do something to where you're speaking to the public. You may do something in technology, communications, the internet, or something like that. Maybe you're doing something like that. If you have had a passion for that, that's maybe the direction, if I could just give you some guidance based on what I see. Maybe that's the direction that you want to pursue if you've had any doubts or thoughts about pursuing that path. And that may... So Aries, I'm sorry I have to finish up this video with a voice recording. My camera cut off, but it's fine because I'm out of storage on my phone. It's okay because I was just on your last card. I had the King of Pentacles in reverse, and I'm going to lay 3 Lenormand cards on that. So, sorry the video cut off, but I'm just going to pick up where I left off. I just switched right over to my voice recorder. And this was the last card I was going to do some clarification on anyway with the Lenormand deck, this King of Pentacles in reverse, because somebody maybe is holding some money from you. Maybe you're expecting somebody some money from someone. Maybe somebody is being stingy with their money, holding on to their money, somebody you're dealing with. Maybe the money at a job isn't good enough. So I just wanted to see what's going on with this money. Yeah, you're fighting with, I feel like you're definitely fighting with somebody in your house, over a place to live. Like I said, the relationship and the marriage could be breaking up regardless, but where you live or something to do with a house and a home, and the money involved in that situation definitely is coming into play with this, with that 4 Wands, with this King of Pentacles in reverse. And then on top of the King of Pentacles with the Lenormand deck, I got the number 4 card, which is the House. And it says, fortune, luck, money, and love. These things will come to those whose homes are blessed from above. So, Aries, if you're not getting something out of a situation that has to do with your home life, move on. Make your home someplace else so that you can then feel the blessings start to flow. If you guys are into anything like feng shui, and positive energy, meditation and things like that, you may want to do some things around your home. And I had a thought one time of even putting mistletoe above my door or something like that. And it's not necessarily, you know how people use mistletoe around the holidays and they say, oh, if you're under mistletoe, you got to kiss. Mistletoe has just always represented a good vibe to me. So maybe you want to do some things around your home to bring some positive energy, especially if you're moving home, if you're broken up. A lot of times if you're broken up with somebody and maybe you made a home with them for a long time, maybe your house does not feel like a home. A home and a house are 2 different things. You could be in the most beautiful place and not feel comfortable. You can be in the most 1-bedroom shabby apartment, and as long as you've got love there and you and your partner have filled that house with love and you got good energy there, it doesn't matter. You can have more than a person who has something much more materially substantial than you. So I think the happiness is going to start with the home. And it's really funny, you got the key and the home, and they're kind of next to each other. They're clarifying different cards. But I think a move of home or something like that could really be a beneficial thing for Aries coming up. Just getting that stability. I think a big part of this is Aries getting back to being Aries. Getting back to being in a stable environment, which Aries is comfortable with. And then we got the number 26, which is the book. If the book appears, pay attention as it nears. Unlock the secrets it may hide and turn around misfortune's tide. So yeah, something about those contracts, something that's written having to do with the money. So coming to some sort of agreement over home, marriage, decisions, contracts, agreements. Read the writing clearly. If you need to do some reading to regain your spirituality, to rebalance yourself and to balance yourself, because also with that Justice card in reverse, it also talks about just being out of balance, being out of whack. So you may find that what you're looking for in literature. Books hold information and knowledge. So maybe, and I held the card up as if you guys could still see me. So maybe a lot of this is about getting more knowledge and information so that you can then get more money. You know what I mean? So you can then get more money. So you can be more abundant. So you're not dependent on someone else or on some male in your life. Or if you're a male, so you're not dependent on some female in your life for financial stability or abundance. And then last, guys, and then we're going to close it out. You got the number 19, which is the Tower. This Tower is trying to say that you will live for many days. But if clouds are hovering near, there's reason to fear. So, again, like I said, Aries, you will live on to be great. The Tower can signify a few things. In the Lenormand deck, the Tower isn't like the Tower in the Rider-Waite or the traditional decks where you see this tower and it's crumbling, people are being overthrown, whatever the establishment, the tradition is crumbling. And we can still think of that, because I definitely feel like something established in Aries' life is crumbling. Something that's been established in your life for some time is coming to a close. It is crumbling. But the good thing about this Tower on a Lenormand deck is sometimes if the way this tower sits, sometimes when you see, if you're a sailor, or if you're are sailing, or you're out to sea, or you're just in a place of loss and despair, and you were to see this great tower that stands, it just represents history, tradition, monarchy. It can give a sense of fear, because I'm sure a lot of things went on in the castles and the towers and things like that. But towers are planted, they're firm, they're stable, they last a long time. They're built with rocks and bricks and things like that. It is a site of stability. And that's why this card, the beginning of this card says, this tower is trying to say that you will live for many days, because it talks about being established, being rooted and grounded, and being a safe haven from whatever is outside that's going on in your life. And even though you guys are going through something with your relationship, with the people in your life, with your money, in the direction you want to go forth from here on out. Maybe it's something different than what you've been doing, Aries, or maybe it's really stepping into the passion of what you wanted to do but never went full force with it. This is telling you to proceed on, and I find the tarot cards, no matter what deck you're using, I find them amazing. At least all of the ones I have, because right next to the tarot card, I have the Knight of Swords. Now, I'm not going to clarify the Knight of Swords. And the Tower card is the third card in the series of Lenormand cards that was clarifying the King of Pentacles. But just the way the cards are sitting on the table, the card next to it is the Knight of Swords, upright. And the Knight of Swords is going right towards that tower, right towards that stability. So what it's about for Aries is being grounded and rooted in your passions, going towards what's stable for you. Maybe not being so over the place and having such heavy and fast movement. Maybe it's going to be more about communication and thinking and making the best moves mentally for you. If I had to say anything to Aries this month, I would say it's more about thoughts and communications and research and knowledge than it is about fast movement, which I know Aries can be very, very quick with. But now, a lot of times, it's about the psychological things that are going on, Aries. It's about the psychological things that cause you to do certain things in your life or take certain actions. And if you start with examining and working on those psychological things, then you'll find that your actions are much more grounded and rooted in something that's stable for your future, instead of making really fast moves, which may be temporary or may not have a very sound and foundation. Sound and stable and concrete foundation. Okay, Aries, so I hope that helps. I think it's a very interesting reading. Guys, if you have a situation or something's going on, let me know down in the comments. I always like to know how you guys related to the reading. If you want to talk more personally, you can email me at tarothelpnow@gmail.com. This is your girl, Madam X, and this is Frequency Real Radio. Love you guys. I wish you the best through August, the rest of the summer, and on into the fall, and on throughout the rest of the year. And check with me, guys, because I've got a couple topics I want to talk about for card chat. I wanted to discuss some of the things that are going on, some of the hot topics, like LeBron opening his school. With the Mars and the eclipse that are happening, things are on fire, things are burning. California is really going up in flames. I just think the Canadian or some Scotland Coast Guards or military, naval officers or somebody were just deployed to California to help with those fires. And then another thing that's on fire is Apple technology. Like I said, I think this is a big time of technology, thought, and communications. Not so much movement, because I think we have about 6 planets in retrograde right now. Mars is still in retrograde. Mercury's in retrograde. But Apple is on track to be America's first $1 trillion company. And here I'm on an iPhone that only has 32 megabytes or some crap, or 64 megabytes, and I can't even record shit. But we pay Apple all of this money, and they're about to be a $1 trillion company. And that's how they stay a $1 trillion company, by limiting and monopolizing their software to make you have to go out and always pay more and always upgrade more. They know what they're doing, guys. So let's talk about it in the card chat. Aries, again, I wish you the best. Much love. This is Frequency Real Radio, Madam X, and I'm out. See ya.